The market continues to weaken, but some of the indicators slowed their decline this week. I'm Tony with Clarkson Santoro, and this is your real estate update for October 7th. In this series, we update you on the latest trends that are occurring in our real estate market here in San Ramon. Using our more than 50 combined years of experience helping clients buy and sell homes, we explain what those trends mean for you as a homeowner or as someone who is looking for a house that you'll love to call home. The current inventory is 53 homes, down from 56 last week. The average asking price of those homes was $1,978,000, which is down from last week's average of $1,988,000. 5 homes asking an average of $1,602,000 went pending this week. That is the same number of pending homes as last week's, with a lower average asking price from last week's $1,925,000. A total of 12 homes sold this week with an average sales price of $1,833,000. That average price was up from last week's average price of $1,755,000, and the total number of sold homes was higher than last week's 7. Okay, so now that we know how our market performed this past week, let's look at the key metrics that we track that help us understand how the San Ramon real estate market is performing and where it might be heading. First, let's look at inventory, which dropped a little this week. Last week the inventory jumped up, and with the negative movement in the other metrics that we track, having the inventory increase was a little unsettling. Seeing that inventory is coming back down a little, despite the lack of pending sales, is a good sign. Last week we scored this indicator with a 46, and this week we are raising it by a few points to 48. The next market indicator relates directly to the inventory level, and that is the market turnover rate. It dropped again for the 4th week in a row. Remember, our turnover number helps us gauge supply and demand. If the number is more than 1.0, there is generally more demand than there are houses available to purchase. However, if that number is below 1.0, like it is right now, that means there are more homes available on the market than there are buyers ready to make that purchase. We are down to 0.55 as our monthly turnover number right now. Last week we gave this indicator a score of 35, and this week we are lowering it down to 31. The over-under asking price is the next indicator that we track, and it has been very steady over the past few weeks. It continued to slightly improve this week, and we are now at an average sales price of 2% less than the list price. This is a very normal number for us to see in a market that leans towards, but does not heavily favor the buyer. Last week we gave this indicator a score of 45, and this week we are leaving it the same. The last statistic that we watch to track the current health of the market is the average sales price. The average sales price in San Ramon has been declining steadily since late May. We saw a momentary bounce back in the sales price at the beginning of August, but it has continued to go down since then. Last week we gave this indicator a score of 55, and this week we lowered it slightly to 53. We have 2 more trends that we pay close attention to, and these help us predict and prepare for where the market is heading. The Triple Q Fund, which we use to track the health of the Silicon Valley tech industry, improved this week by just under $8. This is a good sign in the midst of ongoing economic discomfort and uncertainty. This plays a significant role in our local real estate market, as the majority of our home buyers work in tech, so their financial security is tied directly to Silicon Valley stability. Last week we gave this indicator a score of 33, and this week we are slightly raising it to 34. The last indicator that helps us predict the housing market's future is interest rates. We have more encouraging news to share with this metric today. Our interest rates have been climbing consistently for the past 6 weeks, and they finally did not jump up again this week. In fact, they came down just slightly, falling 4 basis points from 6.7% down to 6.66%. That is not a significant reduction, but it feels like a chance to catch your breath for a minute since rates came up 41 basis points last week. Last week we gave this indicator a score of 27, and this week we are leaving it the same. Overall, the market is continuing to weaken, and we are bracing for a few months more of a soft market in general. Typically, we see market activity greatly reduce during the late fall through early winter holiday season. This year might feel more drastic than we noticed in previous years, but that has to do with a few factors. For the past 2 years, the market really didn't experience the typical seasonal swings that we are seeing return now. And with the current recession, we are seeing an exaggeration of the normal fall market cooldown. Last week, we gave the market a score of 35, and we are scoring it the same this week. For sellers, this fall season will be a good time for you to start preparing your house for the upcoming late winter spring season. If you do not need to sell right now, it might be wise to set your focus on finishing up the few minor improvements that will really make your house stand out to buyers when you do go on the market. For buyers, I would say this is still very much a net neutral market for you. The good thing for you is that you will likely be able to purchase a home for a lower sales price when you do end up purchasing. You can now take your time, really do some good due diligence up front, and feel less pressure to make a snap decision when you find the house that you want to call home. I hope this weekly summary and commentary helped you understand how our market is affecting your options. Let me know in the comments down below, or contact us directly if you have a specific question about how you can navigate this market to buy or sell a home. And if you find this information helpful, share it with a friend. Hit the like button and subscribe so you'll always be up to date on the latest real estate news here in San Ramon. Have a safe weekend, and we'll see you next week with a new update.